Class.
Class.
Good day, class.
Hey, Eric.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Hi.
Jay.
How are you?
Hey.
You know what? I just had some salad.
Why don't you speak up? Class!
Oh.
I hate you. God damn it.
Well,
Why don't y'all speak up a little bit?
you spooked my monster can.
Spook the monster.
You spooked
Usually it's the other way around.
Am I the monster? You're
And
spooking me.
speaking of spooky monsters, we've got show and tell.
Yeah.
What's who?
Well, why
who's
don't you-
who's
I've got-
spooking a monster today?
They don't know what I'm showing and telling because they don't know what I done seen and what I done saw.
What have you done?
Mike, what are you gonna show and tell?
Everybody is gone.
Everybody loves Raymond
Everybody
season
loves
6
Everybody
Blu-ray.
loves the Rapture.
Okay.
Everybody's gone to the Rapture. It's a video game.
Or is it?
And now I'm collaborating with Mike here a little bit because we both saw this movie and we're going to talk about it. Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, or I'd like to call it Dragon Ball Z Resurrection Fuck.
Okay, and I saw a movie too.
Was it Dragon Ball Z?
I saw M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit.
Oh, that's right. Oh, man. Mamma Mia. It's not coming out until September 11th.
Don't forget, I saw
That's
it.
how I remember
Did
that
M.
date.
Night invite you to his house to
No,
watch
he didn't.
Oh, man.
the pajama midnight party?
No, but
This
I
is
saw the flick.
This is the one with the old people.
This is the one with the old people. Would you like me to just talk about it?
Can you go
Go
first?
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
So, M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. You thinking to yourself, oh boy, M. Night Shyamalan again.
No, I'm
You
not
don't know what I'm
thinking
thinking?
All right, what are you
I would never
thinking?
think that.
I'm thinking, which character is M. Night Shyamalan going to play?
Ha!
So-
Wouldn't you
He's
like
going
to
to play
know?
Indian Man.
Oh,
7.
he always plays that.
Don't look at me like that. He's Indian. You didn't know that? After that last name?
You know what? I
It's actually his first name is
I was
called
gonna
Manoj.
is he Indian specifically?
Yes.
Indian.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, okay, so
There's a lot of people on that side of the world, different races.
there was a time, maybe like a decade ago, where you would have asked me, who's your favorite director? And I would have said, without even hesitation, M. Night Shyamalan.
Got blinking an eye.
M. Night Shyamalan. My favorite movie of his is The Village, which, you know, I think is an indication that I'm a fan beyond just like liking specific movies. Like, I loved him so much that that's my favorite.
You don't
It's not
just-
just like The Sixth Sense.
You don't just go in expecting
Right.
this success,
It's not
yeah.
like the expected one. Like mine is one that actually people didn't really love. Apparently, the Village.
But it has quite a lot of
loved
goodness to it.
Signs, loved Unbreakable, loved Sixth Sense. But everybody loved all of those
I loved...
for the most part. Go ahead, there's nothing else you could say you loved.
Um,
Lady in the Water, I appreciate for what it was worth, but
Yeah.
it was just a. It was like it literally should have just been like for him and him only. Nobody else should have ever
Did
seen
he
that
write?
movie.
He wrote the screenplay for Devil. Or
Devil
what?
was good. Yeah, he came up
Yeah.
with the idea.
Good job.
M. Night Shyamalan is
He did
always
Airbender,
he struck me as
The
the kind of
Happening,
guy.
After Earth.
Struck me as the kind of guy who got a really good movie made, and then they're like, "Oh, M. Night Shyamalan, you got to make more movies." And
He
he's
literally
like,
was on like People magazine as like the next Spielberg, which
Yeah.
was like that's the kiss of death.
Uh-huh.
Just let him do his thing. Don't make him the next Spielberg.
Yeah,
So they
so-
tried to do that, and they tried to give him big budget movies. Didn't work
No.
out, as we know.
And he keeps trying.
So finally,
Keeps-
After Earth happened, and when Will Smith stars in a movie and it doesn't do well, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's bad. Yeah.
So M.
that
Night
was like such a,
Shyamalan.
yeah.
he-
didn't Will Smith like commission
Yeah.
that movie to be made?
Yes, he did, basically,
That's
for his
sweet.
son.
Fucking
but
saw it.
M. Night took the money, apparently, took the money that he made from After Earth
Good.
and said, you know what? I'm not going Hollywood.
Back to
He
basics,
took it
baby.
and made his... It's an independent film in the sense that it's independently funded by him. That doesn't mean it was super low budget. He used his money that he got from that movie. Went back to his place where he always used to shoot his movies, Pennsylvania,
Nice.
and made a little movie out in the woods. Not in the woods, I guess, but there are. It's in the woods, I suppose. At a little house with. It's very small. It's very cheap. It's found
Low-key?
footage mostly. I'll get to that.
No, yeah, that was. Yeah, continue.
And so you got to wonder, is M. Night back?
Is he back? Did he make a
I
backflip?
see your eyebrow twitching.
He's back, baby.
Wow, really?
M. Night's back,
Oh,
baby.
how good does that feel to you
It
for
felt
to
so
say that?
good.
Yeah,
it
that's
felt
cool.
so good, so good. Now, this is like I will say this: it's like if someone was paralyzed, and you finally saw them walking down the hallway. Do you think they're running? No, but they're walking. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
is it the Sixth Sense? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I told my friend after my friend was like, yeah, it was good, and I was like, would you rather this or After Earth? Let me ask you that.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. Nobody's gonna say that this is easily like at least for in general at least a 50% upswing back up.
So it's
You
a
know what I mean?
competent film. It's like a...
Oh, more than I
Yeah.
mean, it's okay. It's first of all, it is just as funny as it is scary. It is
always
it
good.
is straight up comedy in some
All
spots.
about
I was
that.
cracking up. It is also very fucking scary. I mean, if you don't think old people are scary, maybe not. But it's
I do.
fucking.
Oh, they're terrifying.
I
There's
hate
some
them.
creepy fucking stuff in this movie. Really creepy. I screamed, and there's some images that were really genuinely like, holy fuck.
Oh, good. Wow.
And the third, the mystery genre that is peppered in there, where he's like trying to sneak back in, drama. There are like a handful of truly beautiful moments that don't feel like they fit necessarily in the movie, but not in a bad way. In the way of like where he's, it's hard to explain. It's like he wants to do it so bad, but he knows that people won't go for it, but he's like, fuck it anyway. Like this is literally like a fuck it movie in the best possible way, where he made the movie he wanted to make. Like it literally seems like not a single other person had their hand in the pot.
No other finger in the pie.
Yeah, so if you don't like it, then you just don't like him. If you do like it, then you like him, and you don't like the other shit that's been going on, I guess.
I was gonna ask you, when I saw the trailer for this,
Which I had not seen.
Yeah.
I saw the very beginning of it.
it's very confusing how the found footage aspect works.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Is it actually like a video camera?
So,
Wait.
the main character, I'm not spoiling anything, but the main character, this is the best, because somebody said, they were like, wow, the footage is too good to be kids playing with a camera. She is a wannabe documentary filmmaker who is trying to emulate her favorite filmmakers.
M. Night Shyamalan.
So, well, yeah, right. But so that's why it looks good. Like, that's why it's not just like kids with a shaky cam.
Because she's a
Because
good
she specifically
filmmaker,
says
yeah.
multiple times, like, don't shake it around. It's got to look good. Like, so...
No shaky cam.
But so because of that, it's a hybrid of found footage and then clearly times when it's just sort of like establishing shots, beautiful establishing shots, a la like The Village of the woods and stuff like that.
Oh.
And I'm not questioning in the theater,
So
is the girl shooting it? I don't care because it looks really
if
nice.
it's not
It cut
distracting.
away like from the.
It's always, you could always say that it's one of them shooting, but it's kind of like, is the girl outside shooting an establishing shot right now?
Gotcha,
You know?
yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because it looks really nice. There's some really nice cinematography in this, actually. Especially one scene where it's just zooming in. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. And it's like pure, we're talking old school M. Night. It was great. The subject matter of the scene, the dialogue of the scene, and the visuals of the scene is ripped right out of old school M. Night. And it's amazing.
All right, I'll give it.
Wow.
That being said, it's a bunch of kids. I will
Okay.
say this: it's two kids.
Can they
I
act?
I thought they worked well. At first, I thought the girl was super awkward, but that's her person. She was very. That's kind of the character. So by the end, I was like, yeah, she's really good. At the start, I thought it was shaky. The kid seemed obnoxious at the start, but again, that's kind of his character. He raps. This kid raps.
Oh no.
So yeah,
perfect.
but so at exactly the
Excellent.
beginning, you're like, oh my god. But then you realize, well, yeah, you're not supposed to think he's good. He's not. So
I don't think
it's,
that would ever be the case. Like you'd be watching a movie and go, "Wow,
that
that
kid
kid."
is
That
good.
kid can
It's a
really
movie.
spit.
Right.
That kid can
But
spit some game.
I thought the kids were good. The grandparents were great. And this is like the best thing I can say about this, the best way to put it, to give you an expectation going in. It is a feature-length Goosebumps episode.
Oh, well.
That's exactly what it is.
Uh,
Not necessarily campy so much as it's not a heavy movie in the slightest. That's
So
why
they
it's not
should-
like old school
they
M.
should,
Night. It's
s-
not heavy. It's very light.
They should swap the titles around with the Goosebumps movie.
And just call this Goosebumps.
Call this Goosebumps
And call
and
that
call
The Visit.
The Visit.
Yeah.
Because that's, you're visited by a bunch of
Jack
spooky
Black
monsters.
By all
is
of
visited
his
by the
stuff.
monsters.
Yeah.
But I can't say anything else without spoiling it. So maybe after we see it, we can talk about that or something. But all I want to say is, I was laughing, I was screaming, I was cheering.
Damn.
The audience that I saw it with was so into it. I had an absolute blast. Is it The Sixth Sense? Absolutely not. It's not like a heavy drama like that with spooky tones. This is comedy and horror, like literally split down the middle. Which apparently he has a comedy cut and a horror cut, and then he specifically made two cuts and then made one that's perfect in the middle.
Oh, wow.
And
M.
he edited
Night
it.
sandwich.
He edited it over 2 weeks. Like, it's
Wow.
all him.
That's
so
cool.
I like that.
if you are
Yeah.
looking forward to like a really, really fun time at the theater, don't expect there to be like commentary about God or anything like in Signs. Don't expect anything like that. Except for a little bit of drama, like I said, that's peppered in there and really interesting
good,
how it's handled
yeah.
and put in there. It's a blast. And I say, and he's already working on his next thriller, he said. So
M. Night.
I gotta say,
nothing
I mean,
can stop
I
him.
really hope that he sticks to what he's doing now, because I would say he's back, baby.
Wow,
M.
this was
Night
not,
is back.
not
Quote
on my
me.
radar at all.
Quote me. That's fine.
Now it is. Thanks, man. Now I know what
so
I'm doing.
excited to talk about it.
Now I
I've
know
been
exactly
freaking
what I'm
out.
doing on September 11th.
Yeah.
Playing Mario Maker.
No, I'll be seeing The Visit starring M. Night Shyamalan.
Why don't you tell us about Dragon Ball Z?
All right,
F.
well-
Dragon Ball F.
Michael and I know you saw it. You saw it day one, didn't you? You
I
fucking
sure
nerd.
did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Fucking nerd.
So, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F is a movie. It did very well in theaters, which is cool.
Oh, that is cool.
I hear it's one of the biggest anime openings of all time.
Yeah.
Did it break number 10? It didn't, did it?
Because
I remember they were trying to. I don't know.
It might have. And it is. I think it was much better than Battle of the Gods.
Well, this movie you could see
last
it
one.
was. This movie was literally
Fan service.
Fan service.
The movie, yeah.
It was. I mean, like, but it was done in a way where it wasn't like, oh, they're just doing this because everybody knows the fan stuff. It felt like the creator was like, it's 2015. You guys grew up with this. Here's everything.
Right.
It's like
Right.
here's everything you want. Just take it.
Okay,
Like,
but like with the only thing, did you feel a little like maybe it's because I haven't watched Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z in a while, but like I kind of just felt unfulfilled afterwards.
yeah.
It was
well,
a good time, but afterwards I was like, okay.
I mean,
I literally have never
It
seen
feels like
anything
it just
Dragon
feels
Ball.
like a long episode of Dragon Ball Z.
It moved very quick.
So you have a
Because
long episode of Goosebumps, a long episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can give them credit because it was a feature length, and then I was
because,
like,
like, Dragon-
whoa, it's over.
Dragon Ball Z movie, like there used to be Dragon Ball Z movies,
And they
like,
were awesome because they said bitch and hell and
Yeah.
shit, and like they didn't say it
those
in
are
the
the
cartoon.
only times you could hear Piccolo say hell. And
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
"What?"
it was awesome.
and you could also see Gohan's little penis.
Little schnutz.
Excuse
Little
me?
schnutz,
Yeah.
yeah. Little schnutzoid.
Yeah.
Gohan in this one, they made him
is
suck.
a puss.
Yeah, they
And
made
now
him
and
suck.
they didn't show
Puss.
his penis.
Because like
No,
Gohan
might
is
might
like
as well because we know how big it is.
He is a pig.
Gohan's pretty close to being like the chosen like ultimate child because he's like half human, half Saiyan, and that's
You
awesome.
explaining this to me? I don't even.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
but
I
they
don't
kind of
know.
just made him. He's like, well, after we saved the world, I decided to just hit the books
a
and
pussy.
study. Yeah, to become a pussy.
So yeah, the movie is basically just like it's a character. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z,
Even if you're like a
Yeah.
light fan and you haven't seen anything in a while,
it just does all the stuff that you would want to see as a fan.
all the characters
And,
you
like,
remember, they show up, they fight.
They do their special moves, and
So
it's
they
like-
don't challenge the characters in any way.
Oh no,
It's
No,
just
not really.
What
oh no,
they do.
it's just
Okay.
what they do. Yeah,
Genuinely
but
funny.
it's been
though.
it's been like decades
since a movie, I guess.
since like a real. I mean, Battle of the Gods. I mean, I really didn't care much for
Is that
that.
the one that was like
fair.
all different voice actors and stuff?
No, they got
Wasn't
the
there
real
one that
voice
had- oh, I
actors.
thought
You're
there was
thinking
one
of
that-
the reboot on Nickelodeon of like the old cartoon.
Yeah, that's
voice
I don't
actor.
know if
yeah.
I am, but
That's
okay.
fucking disgraceful. Anyway,
But yeah. Oh, let me tell you, one of the best times I had being in the theater.
yeah.
Audience was. Oh, you didn't.
Oh, was
you
it
were-
full?
Yeah, but you told me they were
was
like
it full?
whooping it up.
It was not only was it 2 theaters were packed out.
Wow, that's cool.
Completely packed
Okay,
out.
that's
There
cool.
were every
People
time
in costume.
people in costume.
That's cool.
But every time somebody got punched, everybody was like, "Yeah!"
That's cool. That's cool.
That definitely
That happened in the visit
and
too.
someone gets punched
Yeah.
every 6,000 seconds. So it's like
Yeah.
6,000 seconds.
I will say
a
there
thousandth
was a
of a
very
second.
strange thing that happened in the theater. Anybody who saw it in the theater would know what I'm talking
This is
about.
your review of the movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Experience.
For the North American release of this movie.
I wish on Rotten Tomatoes it said like some
Yeah.
fat ass sat in
Yeah.
front of me. It sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For the North American release of this movie, it was like right before the movie starts, this
Someone pulled out
Asian
a
guy
gun.
comes out of nowhere, and he's like,
oh right.
he's
right.
like
On the screen,
I know
right?
you guys want to watch the movie, but first, here's like this documentary about.
Well, is that because
Frieza.
the movie was like 70 minutes long and they made it 90?
That had to be why.
Yeah,
because
it wasn't
first,
enough to warrant the ticket price.
First, they did this shitty documentary where it's
Yeah,
like
I heard
it's like the voice actors like talking about this character, like we don't care about that, and then it was like 25 minutes of Q&A with the voice actors.
I've voiced Goku for 20 years, and I really
they
enjoy
knew
going.
nothing. They got everything wrong. It was like just 25 minutes, which was like
was everybody just like laughing?
everybody was just like, people were walking
Popcorn
out.
time.
I'm powering up.
That was insane.
Genuinely funny though. I thought the movie was really funny because
Yeah,
there's
there's a
like,
lot of goof-
Vegeta
yeah.
and Goku are just like the biggest morons. Like they make them so fucking stupid, considering they have the power to blow up an entire galaxy, and then they just make them dumb idiots. I love it.
It's like Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
Exactly.
He was gonna
Um,
grow yellow hair and destroy
I'm
the
glad that they
galaxy.
kind of gave Vegeta a little bit of like time to shine. I was like, yeah, you get your moment, Vegeta. Good job.
Good,
Like Superman, he got his moment in the sun.
And then they turned into gods. They had the blue hair.
yeah, they turn
That's pretty
into
cool.
They turn into gods with blue. But no,
It's starting to sound like The Visit is a ripoff.
But
of this.
while they're
There's a-
fighting,
yeah.
okay, so let me explain it to you. While they're fighting, okay, so
the main characters turn into gods. in
a
The
villain,
Visit.
yeah,
That's
a
the
villain
twist.
a villain that they killed a long time ago came back because a dragon resurrected him, and this time he's gold, and he has an army of spacemen with him. So the two saviors show up who can turn blue because they have the power of the gods,
Have power-
and
well,
all their friends
well, this
and
is
family
no Power of the Gods times 2.
times 2.
Because in the first one they were red.
And
they
all
turned-
that's right. And all their family is on the ledge watching them fight to save the world. And
That's not safe.
then the gods of the galaxy show up and they're just
Which is a
hanging
cat.
out watching. Yeah, one of them's a cat and one of them's like a gay David Bowie man. And that's fine.
Yeah, that's
David
fine.
Bowie?
Yeah,
And
David Bowie.
they're watching this epic battle go on that's like blowing up like craters the size of like Texas. And they're eating ice cream sundaes. And they're like goofing about like, you ate my cherry.
You know what? Someone could argue that I still said the crazier thing by saying M. Night is back.
Hey, there was a scene where like they first show up, like Frieza just shows
There's a
up,
scene where they first show up.
and he just blows up a city, and nobody cares.
Sounds like Fantastic Four.
Like the whole like the whole city just like they're like, well,
Welp.
another day in Dragon
Another
Ball
day, another
Z
dollar.
land.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Another day, another dragon.
I'm also I gotta dock the movie a point because they showed Krillin, and then he was rocking some hair, and then he cut his hair off for fan service, and I was like, nah, you know what, you should have kept.
Sounds like Wet Hot.
I like that he was a cop though. I like that how after everybody
Yeah.
retired after the TV show, they became cops.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I don't know anything
Hands
about
up!
this show.
Don't
don't,
laser blast me. Yeah.
Kamehameha.
I don't even know how to say it. Kamehameha. I sound
So
like an
that's
idiot.
Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. It's a great time if you want to go see it.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and you can
Should
just
I
Yeah.
see it?
yeah, go right ahead.
Absolutely
Yeah, why
not.
not?
Get caught up on all
If you're, like-
500 episodes
no,
of the
no,
cartoon.
no.
If you're a hardcore fan, or if you're like a casual fan, you watched it and you were a kid, you go in, you'll have a great time.
What if I flipped channels and saw it and never stopped?
There you go. Saw it and watch it and never stops.
Go to the
No,
movie
I mean like
theater.
I never stopped on that channel.
Speaking-
Go to the
of-
movie theater for a second and then leave.
Speaking of changing the channels, if you guys haven't changed the channel already, now we're going to talk about indie video games.
Yeah. Put on your caps, kids.
So what the hell is this game?
Okay, so first I will say this. I would probably not call this a game.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
It's a walking
Sounded like it was
simulator.
like offensive. I'm
Everybody's-
sorry.
Everybody is calling it a walking simulator. It's not far off actually, but
That's what the paralyzed person I was talking about before does.
yeah, the walking simulator.
The walking simulator.
I trained via a
The
walking
Visit is
simulator.
M. Night Shyamalan's walking simulator.
Okay, so this is a exploration game, and if you don't know what those are, it's a new fad that's kind of started with Gone Home, where it's kind of like it's a way to tell a story.
It's first person. You walk
For-
around, figure out the story yourself.
It's a way to experience a story,
No
but
objectives and stuff.
there's no the only objective is to just
Get
try
to the base and kill the fucking general.
yeah.
Sure.
experience a story, all that jazz. I've talked about this before,
that
and
jazz.
right now this whole genre is like a little tiny flame, and we gotta puff it. We gotta
Blow it
puff
out?
it,
Extinguish it?
We gotta give it little life puffs.
Oh, okay.
Fan the flames a little bit so it takes off because we're in that stage right now. We're
Mm.
still kind of figuring out how to make a good non-video game video game.
Mm.
I think this is a step in the right direction, but I would not recommend this to anybody who's not familiar with these kind of games
It's boring.
because you're gonna go it's boring as fuck because
But not like it's boring, like dismiss it. It's just, it's kind of boring. It's slow.
well, no,
you know?
I mean it's boring as fuck if you sit down and expect to play a video game.
Yeah.
Yes, it's boring.
I only spent an
but
hour with it. But
if say you want to sit down and watch like a mega interactive movie, and this kind of is. It's
Yeah.
like so basically it's like
gorgeous.
It's fucking gorgeous. You're walking around a town that's supposedly been raptured. You know, there's cars that are just stopped in the street and there's nobody there. You can walk into houses.
everybody's
and shit.
gone because it's the end of the world or whatever.
And,
it's like the English countryside, so it's that really specific setting. You
And
know?
throughout the game, you find like recordings and like memories, and you just like little pieces of like what happened, and you try
I
to
like this
figure
kind of
out.
stuff, like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, just like Animal Crossing, you catch the fish,
Right.
you bring it to the market.
You sell it to that guy
Sell
who's
it to Tom Nook.
got you in
Yeah.
debt.
Tom Nook. He's
Yeah.
got you by the balls.
Got you by the ball.
Uh-huh. And then that's you go to your house and you make it as fancy as you want.
I like it. Okay, so I like it.
But no,
I like
yeah,
it.
it's
No, but actually, it does sound cool. I like
it's
this
a
kind
cool
of stuff.
it's a cool sci-fi story. I still haven't beaten it yet because I'm trying to absorb the whole
Did you
thing.
finish it?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
But it's very you piece it together out of order. It's completely out of sync.
Oh yeah, because like the way it works is that
It's
like
just
you walk
wherever you
around
stroll
like the
apart.
city.
Yeah.
It's like there are like memories you find where you see like silhouettes of memories. Like you just like see silhouettes of people on the wall and stuff, and it's supposed to be like what happened the day prior or whatever. And you can just walk to any part of like this city and experience it through any kind of way you want.
And the music is great.
And the
I
music
think
is
the
good.
music is really good, especially when it swells. Sometimes I think the music does a better job of like making me feel an emotion than the actual writing does, like of what the dialogue is
Right.
at that time.
Right.
The
That's
music
so
really.
good. That's fine.
Here's why I want this genre to lift off so badly, and it's because Jake, since you're a video game guy, imagine the next 10 years from now.
Close your eyes.
I can't imagine that 10 years from now we're just gonna be playing the same kind of video games, the same like either first person or third person or RPG or this or that. Like
More celebrities are going to be in games. I can't wait. They got to get Seal in a video game.
yeah.
Seal?
Yeah.
Say seal? They gotta get seal in a video
You heard
game?
me.
All right, what I'm trying to say is that we need new things in video games. We need completely new things. I think once VR really takes off, we're gonna get a better
More of
picture of that. But
Plus the people who made Gone Home, they're making another one and it's like
They
super
went home.
awesome.
yeah, like in space,
like in a space, yeah.
right? So I mean, like imagine one day, let's say 10 years from now, this genre has evolved to where it's like an action movie, and it's like you
Oh,
can
wow.
play an action movie.
Yeah, interesting.
Like there's
Sounds good to me.
no like objective.
But I want to fire a gun, Mike.
You can fire a gun. That's what I'm saying. Imagine where it's like
didn't get
not
far
a
enough in this
video
game.
game.
Oh, but it's not like fire the gun to kill 10 guys to get through the door. It's
yeah,
more
fire the
like
gun to kill this
fire the
guy.
gun to kill one guy and feel bad about it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, now you got me.
So
Yeah.
all right, so
I like
we
it.
gotta support this.
I will
like
say to people that if you're curious about this, because a lot of people have asked me about this, and like I don't know how to like tell them like it's.
I would say if you've never played an exploration game before and you don't know, if you don't get that whole thing, then no, absolutely
yeah. Also,
not.
if you're the
You
type
would
of person you go on like, forums and you're like, Gone Home is the worst fucking thing in the world. Don't play this game.
yeah. So
But I will say The Vanishing of Ethan Carter is also out right now for PS4 and PC.
I was gonna play that next.
I'd say that's a little bit more of an ease into this because
Accessible one.
that's you walk around, you piece together a story, but at least with that it's a little bit more. It's like you're a detective man and you're solving a thing.
yeah, like
Detective Man.
In,
Yeah.
in Gone Home, you're nothing. Like the
You're a
game just
lesbian.
starts.
Oh, spoilers.
You're
You're not a lesbian.
I mean the Rapture game.
Oh, in Rapture, yeah, you're like a ghost.
A lesbian.
Yeah, in the Rapture, the game just starts.
You're
and, like
just
you're
kinda
just like,
a
an
camera.
observer.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's neat. It's kind of actually really spooky because I went up into one house and I
Yeah,
went
they
up
do
into,
a good
I went
job
up
with
into the
that.
attic and I looked out the window and you just see like the whole town is empty and you're like, ah,
It's like a much better
Here
improvement.
we go.
With that, it's a much better improvement than their first game, Dear Esther. That was
Oh yeah,
that
well,
was so it was so it was like you can only walk in a
yeah,
straight path.
It was like just going up a thing.
yeah, but it was
you
the
know
same
what?
thing. It was like at times you felt like really uneasy. You know nothing is going to jump out, but you're like, why do I
Uh-huh.
feel uncomfortable? You know?
I like the you know what? So that evolved into that. So
Yeah.
we need to support this shit.
Good.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
Video games,
Awesome.
movies.
Video games.
Cartoons.
Movies. Everything you could need.
Here on Pretty Much It. YouTube.com/Pretty Much It.
And that is-
Patreon.com/Pretty
No,
Much It.
that is
What is it?
That's the way she goes.
our link.
that is pretty much it.